everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. In anticipation of the upcoming Masters of the Universe feature film coming out in June, I will be opening exclusively Masters of the Universe toys between now and then, probably at 2 or 3 videos a week to catch up to the horde, no pun intended, of toys I have collected over the last few years in the Masters of the Universe Origins line, and of course a few other figures as well, including this, the Masters of the Universe ThunderCats crossover. This is Battle-Cat Man. Now, if you're not as familiar with He-Man as us superfans are, Battle-Cat is the big steed, a big cat, that He-Man rode into battle. Like a horse, but it was a big cat. And there are reasons for that you could find out about in other videos when it comes to He-Man's toy development history with Mattel, but when they crossed over most recently with ThunderCats, because these crossovers are huge right now. It's He-Man and Ninja Turtles, it's Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, it's He-Man and ThunderCats, it's He-Man and Transformers, it's Ninja Turtles and Garfield, for crying out loud. Like, everybody is crossing over with everybody. So it's a no-brainer if you're going to do something like this, turn Battle-Cat into a man. Let's just get that out of the way. What I appreciate most about the idea of this character is no more litter boxes. So, I am not buying all of these toys. I have to draw the line somewhere. I like ThunderCats, but not nearly as much as Masters of the Universe. So, my mentality when this line came out was, okay, I'll get the Battle-Cat Man, because this is a cool version of a character I already loved, and I'm going to get the Panther Man to fight Battle-Cat Man, and that's it. I don't need more He-Man, Teela, Men-at-Arms. I don't need another Lion-O, Mum-Ra. I have classic versions of those figures on my shelves. This is unique. It's never been done before. So this is what I'm buying, and that's it when it comes to the He-Man ThunderCats crossover. So and you can see actually that I paid probably a couple of bucks more than a lot of you, if you bought this figure, did, because I saw it in a specialty shop, basically an entertainment exchange kind of shop, and I just snatched it up on a whim in the moment. And I wasn't sure, because of the uniqueness of this character in comparison to the variants of other more established characters, I wasn't sure what this availability would be like at your Targets or wherever else there's GameStops, wherever else they're selling these now. So I snatched it up, probably paid about $5 to $10 more than normal, but you know what? It is my only investment in this line, this and the Panther Man, so I don't feel too bad about that. Let's rip this thing open and see what he's like. Now, this is probably the first character that I've opened in a long time that is a new character. I mean, of course, it's still Battle-Cat, but in this version, we've never seen it before, so I have no idea what to expect from the sculpt and the articulation and so on. In my headcanon, which are the stories we fans make up when we pretend we don't play with these toys anymore, in my headcanon, this would be what would happen if, after his initial transformation from Cringer to Battle-Cat, He-Man pointed his sword at Battle-Cat again and said, "I have the power." This would be kind of like a Dragon Ball Z style evolution, like a next step or a next phase, when absolutely necessary, because maybe he wouldn't be able to like hold this form for very long. Again, just headcanon, storytelling stuff, justifying why this character should be on my shelf at all. So we have very easy extraction, by the way. All of those little pesky rubber bands I hate in contemporary action figure packaging. I don't know if they were there, but they came out easily. And then a sweet little mini comic here that I forgot would be included. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the He-Man ThunderCats crossover mythology here and how they combine these two worlds. Read that later. So here he is, Battle-Cat Man. And he's got the ThunderCats emblem on his chest, so you assume he's in that faction of characters, that he teams up with the ThunderCats, perhaps in some sort of ambassadorship with He-Man and his friends, right? But very easy joint manipulation here. The articulation is nice, as expected from these Origins style figures. We have two pegs on the back, which I don't think would carry these claws that he came with, so those are just kind of superfluous to the in-packaging of this guy, but perhaps there are some other accessories that can go on there. What I'm most curious about is, and it does appear that the armor and stuff can come off. Ooh, so yeah, the helmet came right off. It's a little ThunderCats Masters of the Universe hybrid helmet here, and then here is his unhelmeted head. And I dig it, man. So if all of this came off, you could just have like a regular Battle Cat running around. I guess kind of a cringer man is what you would call him. But I'm not going to bother taking all this stuff off now. The swappability of these parts, again, you could like remove body parts intentionally to mix them up and create your own characters. So that helps kind of remove some of this stuff. I'm not going to do that, like I said, but it's cool that you can, and I think that adds a playability factor. It makes these guys very toyetic is the word in the 21st century here for kids that like to customize, and fans for that matter that like to customize too. I didn't hear a firm snap when I'm putting this arm back in, which is why I don't do this very often. But ooh, okay, this is interesting live on camera here. Am I going to be able to get that arm back in easily? And you guys that do this often enough are like, yeah, you just pop it back in. I'm like, okay, but I don't do this very often. So, okay, I don't know how firmly that's in there, but I'm just going to proceed. It's not in there very well. Oh, well. Okay, let's put the claws on to complete the assemblage. I'm a big fan of this, though. I really do like it a lot. I think it's a fun addition to the ThunderCats He-Man crossover. I think it's the best justification for the ThunderCats He-Man crossover. I mean, of course, okay, I need to look at the instructions, I guess, for how to put these claws on. Okay, and what's cool is it shows you in these instructions that, yeah, you could strip him down. So he's just, I'm gonna call that version Cringer Man. But then the claws go over the gauntlets here to create a more battle-ready look. Okay, the arm is off, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, so it looks like you clip it on kind of at his knuckle, like that. That seems to be the firmest place to put them on. This is how you know it's real, folks. No editing, single shot, real time, trial and error stuff with these toys. This is as close as a lot of adult collectors get to play when it comes to these things now. And then we just put them on our shelves. Okay, I feel like that went in there. I didn't hear a snap, but I kind of felt that click. If you guys customize your figures, if you're creating original characters by mixing and matching parts, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below, because I've been thinking about doing that with the extra parts I've been getting with some of these figures. You know, you end up with extra heads and accessories, and I've thought maybe it would be cool to buy a figure just in the interest of having its main frame, the body and the legs, and then adding all this extra stuff, you know, that comes with these guys, and creating my own unique figure. But is it worth it to endure the popping off and hoping you don't break it and all that stuff? I'd love to hear from you. But man, look at this guy. That is so cool. That's really neat. I like the idea of Battle Cat achieving a more evolved form when the need arises, so he could stand by He-Man instead of He-Man simply straddling him like a steed, and they could be true comrades in arms versus, you know, just a man and his pet. This is really cool. This was a great move on Mattel's part. And I wholeheartedly endorse your picking up Battle Cat Man. If you're struggling with all of these crossovers and wondering if it's worth investing, at least this guy. I would say add him to your shelf, and it's a very cool supplemental figure. And again, I'd mentioned this when I opened Sketchbook series He-Man. He'll probably end up with the Lords of Power in the Sketchbook series as kind of the supplemental, almost an addendum piece to my Masters of the Universe proper display, which, as you can see behind me, is developing. So I could see this guy standing alongside, whom I still have here actually, Sketchbook He-Man, and kind of this side-by-side, back-to-back brotherhood on the battlefield. That's very cool, actually. I dig that a lot as a lifelong fan. So, again, a great way to celebrate where these characters are now as we anticipate where they're going in the upcoming Masters of the Universe feature film in June. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this commentary at all, please follow me on Instagram as well, at AmazingAZ Comics. I am in Arizona, and I do create a mini comic book series about superheroes in Arizona. The colorful cast of characters is somewhat inspired by my childhood love of Masters of the Universe, so you can check those out there. And in the meantime, I will catch you next time when I look at the pile of unopened Motu toys here in my apartment, and I tell myself, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.